Oh, well, I guess it works. Hello. We're gonna see if that's actually working or not. Hi, everybody. Hopefully Snail is okay. We'll see. How is everybody tonight? Abdi, Keaton, Guy, Tyler. How are we? How are we? How are we? Let me try redeeming that one more time, see if it works. Under cooldown. Fantastic. What did I set that cooldown for? Bows. Hello, hello, hello. You're doing good. Good, good, good. Hello, Mari. How are you? Okay. I was messing with Cloudbot like right before stream, if you can't tell, so. Make this like 30. Actually, I should probably do that. You're lurking, you got a shit ton of homework? Ooh. You're having a fantastic time. Can't wait to see Cammy again. That's an answer. Alright, let me see. I'd say that works. There we go, there's a new redemption. Here we go. There is the thing. I'm just gonna keep pinning this until I remember to put it into my like thingy at the bottom. So sippy 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 and Lola Lily, how are you tonight? Pepperoni and sausage. That's very meaty. All right. There we go. We're gonna just continue right off from where we left off. Also, looking for a song. You're trying to listen. Oh, okay. Oh, so I guess we've landed now. Good, little bit sleepy. Happy you got your new toy. I saw that. It's very cute. My kids have been collecting them, actually. We have a lot of them. I think my favorite one so far has been the cinnamon roll one, or maybe the caropi one, but I think they're all really cute. March 12th, 1 p.m. local time, Hope Springs Airport. I know that once we had landed, I'm supposed to let the local police take over. And thanks to Miss Teniro and Miss Mealy, I was able to preserve the crime scene. But I just can't shake it. I wasn't able to talk with Miss Teniro in private. So I'm left wondering just what was she up to? Why did she do what she did? Hi, Blaze. There must be a way for me to continue my investigation. I've been expecting you, Miles Edgeworth. Franziska, I thought you were still in Germany. Yay! You want to buy Melody? Ah, fair enough, fair enough. I go where I'm needed. I can't do a good like accent here. This is gonna be hard. Let's see. How do we want to voice Franziska? She looks gorgeous, by the way. She has a whip. Oh yes, Lily, she has a whip. Let's see, a voice for Franziska. I think I'm gonna give her like gorgeous as usual. Yeah. Woof woof goes chat. I know, for Franziska apparently. We're all barking already. I go where I'm needed. And wherever there are criminals to be caught. Her name is Franziska von Karma. The daughter of my mentor, Manfred von Karma. She, like myself, is a prosecutor. Are you heading up this case? Everybody should be barking for Franziska. Seriously. It would be a bit of a relief if you are. Don't you try to flatter me, Mr. Edgeworth. I am placing you under arrest. Sippy, sippy. What? Already trying to drown me, guy. I see how it is. It is quite frustrating, actually. I had hoped to exact my revenge on you in a different venue. But I'll have to take what I can get. I never thought I'd see the day when a disciple of the House of Vangarma would become a criminal. Have you no shame? Wait, it's all been a big misunderstanding. I didn't kill the victim. A misunderstanding? I heard all about the murder over the police radio from the captain himself. You waited for the victim on the first floor and then beat him to death. Franziska, do you honestly believe that I killed a man? What's the drink tonight? It is more green tea. Oh, back. I suppose I should reserve judgment until after I have investigated this for myself. I can put your arrest on hold until then. That's as it should be. Ah, I don't need a lecture on how to perform my duties from you of all people. To be perfect in every way, the fulfillment of that creed alone is all I strive for. Well, I have my own creed which I must fulfill, so why don't we solve this together? I have to get going. The crime scene awaits. Don't you dare leave town. Trust me, I had no intention to. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Oh, hey, we got this guy. Too slow. Oh, man, she looks good. Oh, oh my. That animation's so smooth. No. Yes, would. Absolutely would. Hello. Oh, man. Don't pretend you're right. Ow. Listen up. I am leaving you in charge of watching this man. Don't mess it up, understand? Oh, hold on. How do I do this again? Mr. Edgeworth, I'm supposed to guard him. A simple yes or no, detective. Ah, yes, sir. Understood, sir. You just leave it to me. Making avatars out of these wouldn't be too hard. Oh my. Miles Edgeworth, if you interfere with my investigation, I'll arrest you on the spot. Are we clear? Now then, if you'll excuse me. Good to see you again, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Boy, am I glad to see you're okay. Thank you, detective. I believe in you, sir. You can lean on me. I'll get you through this. I have to admit, I'm a bit curious as to what Franziska is up to. Maybe I should ask the good detective. Very well, in that case, I have a few questions for you. So, how's the initial investigation going? We just shipped the body off to the coroner's office. And we're taking statements now, sir. That sounds like Franziska. She was always good at quick responses to a case. I'd say she was a little too quick, sir. Oh, how so? Hello, Phantom King. I rushed on over as soon as I got word of the affair, sir. But somehow, when I got here, Ms. Von Karma was already barking orders out at everyone. It was kind of creepy, as though she knew there had been a murder or something. And had come in advance to await your flight's arrival. That is sort of odd. Aw, did she show up and was waiting for us? Aw, this is Sunder. Cute. she did show up rather quickly and out of the blue. Plus, I still don't know why she's here in America. There must be some backstory to all of this. Ms. Von Kama just kind of popped up at the prosecutor's office about a week ago, sir. Something about chasing down leads regarding to a certain incident. No details. Fluff has to sleep early tonight, but you came to give a boop and a like. Oh my god, a Fluffy like. Have a good sleep, Fluffy. It's kinda top secret, so she can't talk about it, even with me, sir. Knowing her, the only type of talking she likes to do is with her whip. Plus, I doubt the top secret part was what stopped her from talking to you, Detective. Although, I wonder if her case has anything to do with mine. Tea. Anyway, that's about all the info I have, sir. We should find out more as we investigate. Yes, it is high time to resume my investigation. Starting with talking to the people involved in this case afresh. Lunchland. Not bad. I guess it's gotten big enough to warrant its own branch shops. Oh, I always wanted to give the steak lunch a try. What should I go with? I recommend our airport special World Flags lunchboxes, only available for a limited time. We have a variety of lunchboxes made up to look like different countries' flags. If you really want one that badly, Detective, why don't you go ahead and buy one? Is that okay, sir? Thanks, alright, then I'm really gonna get one. Here we go. Excuse me, miss, I'll take the Star Spangled Bangle lunchbox, please. I hope he's aware that's the most expensive one on the menu. This man was in first class with me. He was quite shaken up by the whole affair. I'd be pretty scared too if I got caught up in a murder investigation, sir. I did it. I made the whole flight. I'm not scared of turbulence anymore. This life vest is proof I made it alive. It's now my prized possession. How could you just take that from the plane? It's okay, Mr. Edgeworth. Got nothing to do with the murder, at least. This child seems to be happily enjoying the sight of so many planes. I'm all excited to see this many planes, too. Just look at the size of these things. Do you like planes too, mister? The balance between the main wings and the tail wings is really something, huh? Huh. Seems this child derives his pleasure from a different aspect. Oh, but I also got a thing for the shape of the wings, too. Here, mister, you can stand next to me. It's about that plane's wing. Thank you, Detective, for leaving me out of this conversation. Oh. "1:37 p.m., second floor, first class. So you must be the captain." "Why, yes, I am. And who might you be?" "I am the prodigy prosecutor Franziska von Goma, and I have a few questions for you." "Ah, don't you dare, Captain. Get friendly with another woman. I'll never forgive you if you do." "What are you talking about? I only have eyes for you, my dear Cammy." "I wouldn't bet money on our dear captain to be much of a reputable person." "So you don't want to ask the captain some questions, sir?" "He was in the cockpit the entire time. I highly doubt he would know anything of use. Anyway, I like to leave the type of witness to Franziska and her whip." Ah! Edgeworth is just like, serves him right. March 12th, 1:40 p.m. in the lounge. Oh. No, see here. Sorry, I'm sorry. How long do you intend to hold me? It is impossible for me to be the criminal, I told you. Mr. LeBlanc. Oh, it is you. Tell this man to stop to stop stopping me from going. Time is money. I don't have 1 second of wasteful time to spend. Sir, you can't go in there. I'm Miles Edgeworth. I'm one of the prosecutors on this case, so please let me through. Very sorry, sir. No one's allowed to enter without Ms. Von Karma's express permission. But I'm on the case. Yes, I understand that, but I also have explicit instructions not to let you through from Ms. Von Karma. Why would you do this to me, Franziska? Did you finish taking a statement yet? Yep, all done, sir. I do not concern if you are not done examining the cargo hold. I want my cargo back. If you make a single scratch on my art, you will pay. Art? What sort of art? Mr. LeBlanc's an art dealer, so he's got a bunch of artwork down in the cargo hold, sir. Practically a mountain of them, large and small. From full costumes to stone statues, they sell all kinds of arts. Full costumes? Speaking of which, Mr. LeBlanc's hat kinda looks like that other piece of cloth. Mr. LeBlanc, can you please take a look at this for me? Huh? Oh, it's a Brazilian cloth. As I suspected, your hat's made of the same material, I suppose? Yes, of course. This fabric is so famous, orders come in from overseas for more. Then, this is the cargo you were talking about earlier? No, no, no. My cargo this time is many gigantic. You detective, when can I have my cargo moved? You can get your cargo back when we're done investigating, pal. The stubbornness of you police, it is no good. It's no good that that attendant refuses to exit the attendance room, too. That attendant? I wonder if he's talking about Ms. Tenero. What spooked Gumshoe in first class? Did Gumshoe get spooked? I thought it was just as he came down here. I'm not even sure. What did you mean by that attendant, Mr. LeBlanc? She was taken to the attendance room for her interview, and they still have not come out. They make no sign of coming out either. I was finished with my own interview much earlier, quicker than her. Why is Miss Tenero's interview the only one that's taking up so much time? Miles Edgeworth, you were given free rein to examine the plane, weren't you? Yes, I was able to obtain the cooperation of the flight attendants. Speaking of attendants, I'd like to speak with Ms. Tenero. I wonder if you might grant me permission to enter the flight attendant's room. Before I do, you still have to clear up a few issues surrounding your own circumstances. I understand. You may have tricked those attendants with your sophisticated talking, but you can't pull the wool over my eyes, Miles Edgeworth. Here we go. Franziska's logic. Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. The scene of the crime was here, in this very lounge. The body was discovered. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found, the only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth. This unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect. The likeliest suspect, Franziska. I am gonna need a second, guys. My littlest is at the door. I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. Glitch Moon, hello. Welcome in. Okay, so apparently we're the likeliest suspect. Do you have problems with that? No, but it's not like you to use such vague wording. You're usually a bit more absolute. Let me fix this. Oh no. Nightbot spawning multiple things again. Darn. It's gonna be one of those nights, I suppose. I'm simply trying to watch out for you. Or is my kindness too hard for you to comprehend? Oh, and chat's not moving for me. Okay. Thank you, but your leniency is unnecessary, for I will prove my innocence soon enough. If I want to continue my investigation, I'll have to break her line of logic, and fast. Okay. Complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion.
Hold it!
It really is. And the, honestly, these updated graphics have been fantastic. It's very on point. Even more gorgeous than the original. Okay. Don't you think you're being a bit rash, simply declaring me the culprit? I like my affairs to be simple and perfect. I'll show you the meaning of both when I finish this whole thing within 3 minutes. Hey, you say that like you're cooking a pack of instant noodles. No! I won't allow even 3 seconds of useless testimony to be uttered in my presence. I see, she hasn't changed a bit. But I won't allow her to send me to prison so easily. Oh boy. Okay, well that's pretty true. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found, the only person in this lounge the entire time was you. I don't think that's quite true. While it's true that I was in the lounge the whole time, that fact alone does not make me the criminal.
Objection!
Ah, we'll see about that at the conclusion of this investigation. However, there is one thing that even you must admit at this time. This unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect.
Hold it!
Under the circumstances, I suppose I can agree that I am the most likely suspect. But I believe in you, sir. I don't think you did it. Ms. Von Karma's gotta believe that too, right? I mean, you two like Ow! Quiet, Scuffy. Even if we were related by blood, that's no guarantee that he's not a criminal. Franziska. I demand to see some proof that you are not the guilty party. She doesn't know about the new evidence. Right. Okay. So, my thing is, she thinks the scene of the crime, but it wasn't. That's not what I wanted to do. You'll be leaving now, but you'll be back later. For now, your part is ending? Okay. You mean Before the Storm, which is the prequel? What? Oh. I know those that I need to know in order to arrest you. And nothing more. Are you saying there is more I need to know? I didn't actually mean to press this. Why did you whip me, sir? Sorry, Scruffy, my hand must have slipped. It would appear that Franziska doesn't have all the facts of this case yet. Go back. We're gonna present the suitcase here.
Objection!
It would appear that you did not have all the information you needed after all. And what does that mean? I found a nice piece of evidence just before I was forced to stop investigating. A piece that proves the body was moved from a different location. The killer used this suitcase to move the victim's body, meaning that the real scene of the crime is not this lounge at all.
Objection!
Now who's the one actually jumping to conclusions? Excuse me. All you did was find this piece of cloth inside the suitcase. That doesn't prove the body was moved. It could be that the killer simply chose that suitcase as a good place to hide the cloth. I expected you would come to that conclusion. It would seem I can't escape that easily. You should know better than that. A Von Comma is perfect in every way. Ah, but did you know that the killer definitely wheeled the suitcase around at some point?
Objection!
As if there is proof of that. Where's the proof? On the wheel. Oh, maybe not the wheel, but maybe like the tracks here. Ooh, is this gonna be the tracks, or is this gonna be... it's probably gonna be the tracks.
Take that!
This spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. Yes, and I'd like to draw your attention to this area here. The evidence that proves the killer dragged the suitcase through here is... that.
Take that!
This mark here, wouldn't you say that looks suspiciously like tracks from two wheels? I suppose. Further, there's also grape juice residue on the wheels of the suitcase. This means the suitcase containing the victim's body definitely passed through here. I suppose this means that the killer did move the victim's body from somewhere else. I'm glad you've come to your senses.
Objection!
Not so fast. This still doesn't put you in the clear. Not by a long shot. Oh boy, here we go. Logic part 2. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hits a turbulence. And then you waited for the victim in the lounge where you beat him to death. Then, while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase, the plane hit that patch of turbulence and out threw the body from within the suitcase. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from, and pretended to be the discoverer of the body. Not a bad bit of logic for something you thought of on the fly. Just what are you insinuating? Then I will show you exactly how flawed your logic is. No matter how strong of a face you put on, not even you can hide your fears from me. I'll expose the flaws in her logic in one fell swoop. So this one's pretty easy. I kind of like saw exactly what I needed to do. So acquiring the piggy bank before the plane hit the turbulence is kind of like not.
Objection!
The fact that you took this piece of evidence into account in your testimony is to be commended. Your legal prowess is certainly something to be feared. Evidence and logic. Essential tools that those who would stand in a courtroom must learn to master. But what if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into the mix? A fake. This Captain Ugo piggy bank is just such a fake. It is not the real murder weapon. Yeah. What? The timing of when the bank was taken from the shop is important. And it was taken after the turbulence had occurred. But then, what about the blood on the bank? What do you make of that? I assume it was added after the murder, when the killer fabricated this weapon. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did 3 things after the turbulence. After exiting the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase to the shop and left it there. Then the killer proceeded to pick the bank up from off the floor and took it to fabricate a fake murder weapon by hitting the victim on the head. Finally, the victim's wallet was planted on my personage, in my pocket to be precise. Everything was done so that I would be framed for the murder of Mr. Ackby Hicks. there. Yes, ma'am. Other than this piggy bank, was anything else resembling a murder weapon found? We didn't find anything in the lounge or in the shop that could be used as one, ma'am. Most of the items that could have been used were broken during the turbulence. And the remaining items all tested negative for any trace of blood. I see. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it appears your stall tactics are at an end. What's possible is just hidden somewhere, sir. If the criminal had wanted to hide the weapon in a safer place, I think the weapon would have been hidden in the same place as the bloody cloth. Exactly what I was thinking. Because the cloth was hidden inside that suitcase, it signals to me that the killer had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence. Which means that the real murder weapon is either still on the murder's personage, or is still at the real crime scene.
Objection!
There is one more possibility, and that would be that the piggy bank is in fact the real weapon. But didn't we just... Let me finish. The killer took the bank out from the display case before the turbulence by opening the lock on the display case door. And it was at that time that the glass panel in the door was broken. I'd say that's a perfectly reasonable line of reasoning, wouldn't you? Let's see. So that means the killer had the key to the display case. Franziska, that person you're talking about. Not so fast. I'm not finishing. The person I'm talking about also committed another sin. She tricked the captain and granted you permission to conduct your investigation. Yes, it is the sin of lying. Speaking of which, I recall you had also wished to speak with her. Yes. Very well. Permission granted. But only if I can sit in on your interrogation. Do we understand each other? I have no intention of interrogating her. But you are welcome to accompany me if you so wish. Miss De Niro is in the flight attendant's room. Let's move. Yay, we get to go in the flight attendant's room. Cute little room. Right. The victim's name is Hyukia. Thanks, Mari. Thanks. Flight attendant room. Yeah, 223. So, you're the one who poked around inside this plane without the captain's permission. Deviating from the flight attendant's manual is very unbecoming, you know. What were you hoping to accomplish by doing that? Miss De Niro. Ah, Mr. Edgeworth, you're here too. Can you please help us and shed some light on why you did what you did? Alright. Why did you lie about receiving the captain's permission like that? Because I didn't think I'd be able to get his permission. What do you mean? The captain, he only has ears for Cammy. I spoke with the captain a little earlier myself. He definitely seems to be rather taken with Miss Mealy. Yes, and on top of that, I had mistakenly accused Mr. Edgeworth of being the killer. I wanted to make amends. In that case, please allow me to thank you for what you did. Thanks to you, I was able to clear myself of all charges. Really? You were able to prove your innocence? Oh, thank goodness. Miss De Niro, is it? There is one more thing I'd like to ask you. You were in the in-flight shop just before the turbulence, weren't you? Please answer honestly. Yes, I was. And why were you in there? Well, Why the sudden hesitation? Franziska seems to have struck a nerve. All I did was go check up on the shop like I always do. You're saying it was for work then? Yes, I've been charge of the shop, so I have to keep an eye on it. I don't have any reason to go there otherwise. More Edgeworth! Ethan, hello. After your visit to the shop, you paid a visit to this room, correct? Yes! I came back to freshen up and adjust my makeup. I'm sorry, but there isn't much else to tell. Miss De Niro claims to have no reason other than duty to go to the shop. But is that all there is to it? Maybe I should ask her about that thing. If you could please take a look at this for me, Miss De Niro. Oh, that suitcase. Yes, about the suitcase. You are the one who designed it, correct? And I think I figured out something else out about it. This suitcase is the reason you went to the shop, isn't it? There's nothing you won't find out eventually, is there? Won't you please tell me more about this suitcase? Yes, I was interested in seeing how the suitcases I had designed were selling. I know that as a service professional I'm not supposed to care. But I really wanted to know. And I was glad to see it was the last one there. The harpsichord? Yeah, I am aware. The last one there. So you're saying, Miss De Niro, that the suitcase in question was the last one? Yes! They're just so popular they're practically flying off the shelves. That's not exactly the impression I got. The one in the shop is most definitely the last one. Well, we're currently looking at that suitcase. Really? Then I guess we sold all of them. Thank you very much for taking the last one. I didn't say anything about buying it. Then say you'll buy it. I'm sorry, I can't. Oh, why? I think you'd go great with your complexion, Mr. Edgeworth. It really suits you. I guarantee it personally as a service professional. Well, that is... How should I put this? It's hideous. Kai goes, I think the first attendant did it. And then we talked to Miss De Niro and goes, I think the second flight attendant might have done it, maybe. You always wanted a Hammond organ from the 60s. Many songs that had sound. Or had that sound, yeah. What? Maybe that was a bit too direct. Moving on. My issue with the suitcases isn't the design, it's the number of them remaining. Remaining? There were 2 suitcases in the in-flight shop when I investigated it. 2? But that's impossible. I'm sure there was only one. Looks like our story has generated quite a contradiction. When I left the shop, I'm positive there was only one suitcase left. Something's amiss here. What could be the meaning of this inconsistency? By the way, Miss De Niro, what is one of those suitcases doing here? That's... I thought you said there was only one left? That one is, it's mine. I've used it for a very long time now. She's used it for a long time. I think not. Interesting. Miss De Niro, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't lie to me. Excuse me? I don't believe for even 1 second that you've used this for a very long time. What proves this hasn't been used for nearly as long as Miss De Niro says? The price tag.
Take that!
Tell me, Miss De Niro, is it also your habit to keep the price tag pristine on your suitcase? What is the meaning of this? Why would you lie about the suitcase? Despite Despite having faith in her design sense, the sales numbers made her cry bitter tears. The truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. Ms. De Niro, I think I understand. I know what you were trying to hide. Now then, this suitcase was originally in the in-flight shop. Seeing as how the price tag is still on the suitcase, one can only assume it was out on the floor for sale in the shop. And the person who bought this suitcase was... I'm gonna insist that it was probably her.
Take that!
It was you, wasn't it, Ms. De Niro? I hate to say this, but the suitcase that you designed, it hasn't sold very well, has it? You saw how poorly this design that you poured your heart into was selling, and were deeply hurt. That's why you wanted to make it look like it was selling by buying it yourself. Isn't that right? Then, the reason you went to the shop and came back here was... I'm sorry. All I really have is my job. I was overjoyed when my design was chosen. I thought that maybe I'd finally accomplished something. But the suitcases didn't sell. It's because of the design, isn't it? It's because it's, as you put it, hideous. I can't say they chose a great place in which to sell them either. We weren't selling a single one, and they were just sitting there collecting dust. I felt so bad seeing them there, day in and day out. So I decided to buy one for every flight I worked. You buy one every single time you work a flight? I see. So in order to keep your resolution, you went and bought one today as well. Yes, and here's my receipt for that purchase. This receipt is clearly time-stamped 5:40 a.m. The truth is, there's still a bunch of them left unsold. They're planning to scrap the remaining ones at the end of this flight. Miss De Niro, where are these other suitcases? They should all be down in the cargo hold. Then the suitcase the killer used could very well have come from the cargo hold. Mr. Edgeworth, you don't think the killer used one of my suitcases too? Yes, I do. The killer used one of your beloved suitcases to move the victim's body. How could they? Those suitcases were meant to be faithful partners to our passengers on their trips. That's all I ever wished for them to be. Miss De Niro, is there any other way to get to the cargo hold other than the elevator? The only other way is just through that door there. And what about security? That door has no special lock installed because, just to enter this room, you need a special key card that only crew members have access to. Which means that the culprit is someone who can enter this room, eliminating the passengers and leaving only crew members as potential suspects. I can't believe it! Yes, Franziska. Going on these wild goose chases, you're a disgrace to the Von Gamma name. And what do you mean by that? The suitcase came from the cargo hold. That fact alone tells us the whole story. Yes, which is why I said the culprit must be a crew member who used their key card. Miles Edgeworth! You're proposing that the killer rode the elevator from the cargo hold, correct? Yes, that's the only realistic possibility. That other attendant, Miss Meany. I asked her earlier and she had this to say. Franziska got information out of Miss Mealy. It's gotta be the pilot because autopilot does exist. Ooh, interesting, Mari. In order to make the elevator go down to the cargo hold, a different keycard is required. A different one. Yes, and the only person who holds that particular card is you, Ms. Rhoda Tomito, and only you. Ah! What? Is this true, Ms. De Niro? Yes, I keep that key card in my locker at all times. Could you please show us that card right now? Yes, hold on. What's wrong? The key card! It's gone! Ha ha ha, very clever. Pretending that your card was stolen when in fact you're just trying to hide it from us. You've really thought this through. Wait! It's not like that! You can tell us all about what it's like down at the station. Officer, arrest this woman. Yes, ma'am. Mr. Edgeworth? What's wrong? There's disbelief written all over your face. Franziska, I know that you're the lead investigator on this case. However... Hold it! Don't even think about wasting any more of my time. You know the rules as well as I do. Evidence speaks louder than words. Even if this isn't a courtroom, that basic tenet still applies. I intend to investigate the cargo hold now. What will you do, Miles Edgeworth? I intend to do likewise. Now this is an airplane drama you can get behind. Fantastic, Cryo. Save. Oh. Ooh. Lower deck cargo hold. Wow, so this is the cargo hold, huh? Wow, so this is the cargo hold, huh? Okay, go running. He's so big. There's oh my god, there's so many of them. This plane is a special model. It has both a super large cargo hold and an ultra luxurious first class seating. So this is the real scene of the murder. There is certainly a high probability of that, which is why we are here, correct? Okay, let's get investigating, sir. Here we go. Lower deck cargo hold. Holy suitcases, Mr. Edgeworth. It's like an all-you-can-use suitcase fair. These must be all the leftover ones they couldn't sell. The ones the company's planning to dispose of after this flight is over. This paint job is really cool, don't you think? Practically screams artsy. Jesus. Oh, why not purchase one then? I'm sure it'll bring you much happiness. You think so? Maybe I will. Let's see here. $1,200! I think I'll pass. And Mr. Nero wonders why they don't sell. You'd need 2 jobs just to buy one. How does she afford to buy one every flight? Although it definitely looks like one is missing. What's this brittle substance I'm stepping on? A bunch of glass fragments. Keeping track of this many pieces of cargo must be very taxing on the cargo crew. Thing sure brings back memories of when I worked as a part-time mover, sir. By the look in his eyes, he's waiting for me to ask about the rest of the story. But no matter how he pours on the puppy eyes, I have no intention of doing so. Poor Gumshoe. Hey, what's with the suitcase, pal? It's what the victim checked in, sir. So the suitcase belonged to Hyakuya. Fantastic. I don't think he'd mind if we took a closer look. Nothing out of the ordinary in here, sir. The captain set the plane to autopilot and killed the victim in the cargo hold, put him in the suitcase, got in the elevator out, set up the scene. Meanwhile, Miles gets knocked out. Interesting. Wait, a file? And there's a photo of Miss Von Karma in it, sir. It looks like a profile on Franziska. Interesting. Why would Mr. Hicks have a file on her? All sorts of boxes are piled up here. This one says flammable, and this one says pharmaceuticals. This one says for exorcism use only. Just what kind of operation is this airline running? Have you noticed anything strange happening around here? No, sir. Haven't noticed a thing. I'm not sure that he meant to sound so oblivious. You arrived at the scene of the crime before Detective Gumshoe, correct? And you then immediately began to direct the investigation. Seems to me you were already here at this airport for something besides this murder. Yes, I was. Captain takes the elevator to the gift shop. Oh, maybe. I've been following a very large and involved government-level international crime. But it's much too large for one person to take on alone. So it was decided that I should form a joint investigation with Interpol. Is this guy Interpol? Interpol is involved. It is a top-secret operation, so I really can't tell you any more than I already have. Well... Wait. Or did I not get that as... Okay, hold on. Let's try and puzzle some things together. Like these two. Now, why would Mr. Hicks have documents profiling Franziska? Oh, I know. Betty's a big fan of Ms. Von Karma, sir. Franziska said she'd come to the airport as part of an Interpol investigation. Oh, maybe Mr. Hicks had heard she was coming here and he followed her. Detective, I think it's more likely that Mr. Hicks was, in actuality, Interpol agent Hicks. I think Franziska has some explaining to do. I also think these two are probably connected. I think we can safely conclude that these fragments are from a pair of glasses. And the victim was wearing a pair of broken glasses. Exactly what I was thinking. I'm sure that the shards would match up perfectly with the remnants of his glasses lens. Ergo, the victim was here, just as I suspected. So you're saying that the real scene of the crime was here, sir? Isn't that what I've been saying for a while now? Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Perhaps it's a bit early to draw that conclusion. However, I believe that the probability has just skyrocketed considerably. All that's left is to find the murder weapon. You came to this airport to rendezvous with the victim, didn't you? Nonsense! What are you talking about? We found a profile detailing information about you in the victim's luggage. I suppose it was prepared for him so he could recognize you when he landed. Which makes him not Mr. Hicks, but rather Interpol Agent Hicks. Isn't that correct? I should have known you'd figured it out, Miles. But it looks like they got to him first. So you really did come here to receive an Interpol agent, then? Yes. And Hiyokyo was on the trail of a very large international smuggling ring. He went undercover to investigate this crime. And it was I who put him on this case. I was supposed to receive a call from him on his cell phone once he had landed. I never expected to receive a call about his murder instead. I think we now have a pretty definitive evidence that Agent Hicks came down here to the cargo hold. But what was he doing down here, sir? Nothing but luggage. Oh, I get it. Maybe he forgot something in his suitcase and came down to get it. Hello, Crystal. Ow! Agent Hicks came here for a work-related reason. Of that I am sure. Yes, I'm sure he was here to investigate the smuggling operation he was observing. Francisca, do you know exactly how he intended to pursue his investigation? No. Unfortunately, I was going to find out from him after he landed. I see, but this raises another question. You're alive! Welcome to the land of the living. Makes sense. Maybe that's why the key card's missing and probably the killer might have took off his body. A normal passenger can't access the cargo hold on their own. Agent Hicks must have identified himself to a member of the crew. And entered the cargo hold was that person who let him in. Yes, and then he was murdered here. These glasses fragments and his broken glasses are a testament to that. And then the killer put Agent Hicks into one of the spare suitcases and they entered the elevator. But while they were riding it up, the fire is another damn fire? Are you okay, Snail? And you see it? Okay. The plane hit the patch of turbulence. Because of the intense shaking, the suitcase popped open and Agent Hicks's body flew out. At the same time, his wallet fell out of his pocket, spilling the contents everywhere. Cammy did it. She was right by the elevator at the beginning. Killed the victim somehow. Maybe. Which explains why there was money scattered all over the elevator floor. I think it's pretty easy to say who the culprit is at this stage. What? Really, sir? I know what you're thinking, Miles Edgeworth. But the killer can be none other than Ms. Rhoda De Niro. Here we go. If it was a crew member, any of them should have shown Agent Hicks to the cargo hold. But the point to keep in mind is the keycard that allows the elevator to come down here. You don't believe it? You still think that's the plot? Whose portrait yet? What? You think it's the pilot? Okay. The only person with such high-level access is Ms. Rhoda De Niro. I'd say that's a pretty decisive piece of information, wouldn't you? I know what she's trying to say, but I'm not certain it's as simple as that. So, the point... Right, but she's saying that the keycard was stolen, so...
Hold it!
It's highly likely the keycard was stolen from Ms. De Niro.
Objection!
It's highly likely. Is that possibility the best you can come up with? As you call yourself a disciple of my father. Ugh. Yes, well, I don't have any evidence, Be quiet, you're a disgrace. There's more evidence pointing to Miss Rhoda De Niro, you know. It's not just the keycard that gives her away. Are you talking about the murder weapon, the Captain Ugo piggy bank? Yes, she's also the only person with a key to open that display case.
Hold it!
But that's...
Objection!
Stop right there, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. You don't have any proof that this is just a red herring. If you must keep insisting that this is a fake, then what is the real murder weapon and where did it go? Speechless, I see. That's not a surprise. After all, you know that we have searched the entire cargo hold and came up empty-handed. There must be a way. There must be something that can help me rule out the piggy bank as the murder weapon. What should be examined further to help us ascertain the authenticacy of the weapon? Probably the body if the weapon mark doesn't like line up. Franziska, I think you were too quick to jump to your conclusions. Oh, was I? Hello, Neosite. Welcome in. Yes. We don't even have the autopsy results yet. Autopsy results! You know what? That's gonna be the next Nightbot command I get. I'm gonna get us an updated autopsy results thingy. Not a lot of people pay attention to the front door of a plane. Also, it'd be much more concerning if there's an autopilot and secondary pilot. Also, you like Cammy. Mari, I think you're just covering up for Cammy at this point. Honestly, she does seem kind of suspicious to me for a few reasons. We'll see. How can I not say that you just made a snap judgment when you have yet to even see if the wound on Agent Hicks's head is consistent with the murder weapon? Yuckia. Scruffy. Yes, sir? Contact the medical examiner's office at once. I wish to hear the results of Agent Hicks's autopsy. Yes, sir. Run, run, run. We got a big problem, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. What is it, detective? They're still doing the autopsy, but they said they know one thing for sure. Report now. Doc said it's one giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back. From the victim's shoulder to his mid-back? He was beaten over such a wide area? Well, I'd say maybe it's a sign the killer had a grudge against Mr. Hicks. It wasn't just his head. The killer went all out and hit him multiple times, sir. Scruffy, what is had a grudge against Agent Hicks supposed to mean? Well that's, was the wound on the victim's head consistent with the murder weapon, detective? Oh, well, they said they were still looking into that, sir. We need an updated autopsy report. What? I come Edgeworth. Well, if you see, I happen to have an outdated autopsy report. Right here for flowers. Fantastic cryo perfection. It's an exclamation, Edgeworth guy. Only one, there was probably 2 or 3. Yikes. You're completely useless. Ouch! Sir, I told you already, you can't go down there. No, you remove yourself from my way, I'm assuming. What is all that racket? I knew it was gonna be him. My luggage! My cargo! They're mine and I demand you return them to me. We're still investigating the cargo hold. Please understand and have a little patience. I suppose there is no choice. Finally, I think he gave— Hey, what are you? You have left me no choice but to use strong force. Arr! Arr, arr. You won't get past me. This is... Wait, that's it. So that's what this whole thing has been about. Did the guy just fall down the stairs? Oh, the weapon couldn't be found. Doc said it's one giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back. Yeah. Oh, not yet? The pieces don't fit together quite right. But I do have a child knocking at my door, so I'll be right back. Sorry, chat. Okay. Okay, let's see what happened while I was gone. Had some dancing happen, body bumped. The murder weapon happens to be the ultimate weapon. Fantastic, Cryo. Fantastic. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so maybe it's I'm thinking the cause of death can't be the Captain Ogo Bank. I think that's probably... Allegedly, the killer struck the victim many times over, which is why there's extensive bruising over such a wide area. But is that really the correct conclusion to draw from the evidence? Bruised from his shoulder to the middle of his back is one continuous mark, which is more suggestive of a single blow to the back. If that's the case, the piggy bank is much too small to have caused that. Therefore, the murder weapon must be something far bigger. And then that's the reason it couldn't have been. Yeah, okay. There we go, there we go. Hello, okay. How are you today? If we were looking for a rather large weapon, you'd think it would stick out. But so far, we haven't found anything that resembles a weapon of any sort. Perhaps, just perhaps, it's something we've all overlooked from the very beginning. Because normally, it's too impossibly big to be taken into consideration. What was that all about? Was he trying to jump his way down here? Logic dive? Yeah, logic dive indeed. Franziska. So, what? What do you want? I found it, Franziska. I found the real murder weapon. You did? He really jumped. We didn't realize it until now, but the answer's been right in front of us this whole time. He might be hurt. We should go check up on him, sirs. There's that pompous attitude of yours again. You should learn to drop that habit. This coming from a prosecutor with a habit of whipping everyone she comes across. Wait, why are we putting snails on people's foreheads? What's going on? Uno reverse card? Uno reverse card indeed. Anyway, if you really are a prosecutor, then you'll back yourself up with evidence. You doing fine? Just got back. Uh-huh. You wouldn't want a snail on your head? Fair enough. You two aren't listening at all, are ya? Come on then. Show me this real murder weapon you speak of. Do I have evidence for this? I don't think we do, so I'm gonna say we don't have any. Huh. I don't have any evidence to show you. Foolish reasoning for a foolish fool from a foolishly foolish fool meant to fool me. What do you mean by I don't have any evidence to show? Perhaps I should have phrased it as that which caused Agent Hicks's death is incorporeal. Forgive me, but I do believe I figured out what was the real cause of death. Free fall. Cake. The victim fell from a great height and subsequently died as a result. In other words, the real cause of death is free falling to the ground. He fell to his death. Yes, this is the only plausible possibility. The victim has extensive bruising on the back of his head and his back. And the only rational explanation for these injuries is that he fell to his death. But the murder happened inside this plane. I know. Are you claiming there is some place in this plane from which he could have fallen from? As I said earlier, the answer has been right in front of us the entire time. You cannot mean... Yes, I do. The victim fell from the top of the stairs of this very cargo hold. What? Then, we're in trouble. We may have a second death on our hands, sirs. Hey, you! Tell me you aren't dead, pal. Quiet, why are you screaming? He's alive. And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. It's not possible Agent Hicks fell over the railing to his death. That man is living proof of that. I suppose it's true that it's not possible, given the current circumstances. The current circumstances. What is that supposed to mean? Suppose that large piece of cargo wasn't there at the time. What would have happened then? He would have been a Bourguignon pancake for sure, sir. I suppose that man over there wouldn't still be breathing. But the reality is that cargo box is there. So there is no point in entertaining your wild hypothetical scenarios. It may be there now, but there's no proof it was always there. Ah, as if there could have been a window of time when that giant box was not there. When they were oh man, when they were offloading the cargo. Ah, but there was. What? Yeah, the Sky Magazine. Because we had a refueling, right? Is that its own? Ah, here it is. It's its own thing.
Take that!
You refueled in the Republic of Zhangfa. Yes, this flight had a short layover in Zhangfa in order to refuel. But that wasn't the only reason for the layover. We also transferred some cargo. What if the box in question was only transferred onto the plane at that time? To further prove my point, let's take a look at what's next to the box in question. Ah, it's labeled Zhangfa Express. Correct, meaning it was loaded onto the plane in Zhangfa. Oh. Now, what if the box in question was also loaded on at the same time? It would mean that the box was not here in the cargo hold during the Europe to Zhangfa leg of the flight, making a clear drop from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death entirely possible. But your theory is still very far-fetched. Then allow me a chance to prove how very likely my scenario is. My first order of business will be to examine that piece of cargo in more detail. More investigating. Okay. This is a rather large piece of cargo. There's a tag on it, sir. Let's see. Alpha Red Statue. Alif Red Statue. Never heard of it. Nor I, but all I care about is if we can prove it wasn't here at the time of the crime. Sippy, sippy! Sippy, sippy, sippy. Hi, Cherry. How are you? You're gonna grab some wine? Ugh, Mario, that sounds amazing, honestly. I don't drink anymore, though, so... Well, let's get to investigating, sir. Look here, do not go about touching my possessions without my permission. Cherry, knock it off. Yesterday's issue still persists, but you're managing better. I hope everything gets better for you, Cherry. Don't rush up on me like that, pal. So this belongs to Mr. LeBlanc, does it? I should see what else I can find out from him. Look here, do not go about touching my possessions without my permission. Suppose I have to first appease him. Oh, I thought I was talking to him. Oops. LeBlanc's cargo. I take it that this large piece of cargo belongs to you, Mr. LeBlanc. Of course it is mine. I shipped this fine piece of art from Europe. This Alif Red statue is worth 10 million cents. No, maybe much, much more. Mr. LeBlanc's reason for choosing this plane must have been the large cargo hold. 10 million cents? I suggest you stop trying to calculate how many packets of noodles that makes, Detective. Don, how'd you do that? Feel like you keep getting better and better at seeing right through me every year. Though I grow with each revolution of the planet around the sun, I have the distinct impression he continues to madly spin in place. Ew. Y'all, why are y'all like sticking snails all over each other? Like, creepy. You gotta do some serious homework when you get home? Hmm. Cryo. What's this about snails? Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, so that 10 million cents, is that in euros or in dollars? Does it really make a difference to our case? Mr. LeBlanc, there's a chance that your cargo is related to our murder case. I was wondering if you would allow us to examine it a little bit closer. It is a valuable piece of art, so no, there will be no touching. What is this? That's the autopsy report. That's some testimony. Oh, he was supposedly in his seat when he took off at 5 a.m. That's not great. Actually, it's more... If you keep talking about snails, then you should... No, Cherry, chill. Yeah, smuggling and art. Fantastic. If Mr. LeBlanc has something to do with the smuggling ring, then it's possible this fake statue was brought on board in Zhengfa. I think I need to question him a bit further. About your statue, Mr. LeBlanc. I wonder if it might be a fake. What? How dare you say my art is a fake? I suspect your statue might have been the target of an international smuggling ring. Don't say such fantastical things. Those thieves would not dare. I have the certification of my cargo right here. Do you mean the cargo certification document? Mr. Zinc LeBlanc, why didn't you say it so earlier? Please show it to us at once. I can't read this. What does it say? It's as plain as day. The cargo was put onto the plane in Europe. And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. Too bad for you. This statue was brought on board in Europe, just as it states in the certification. That's... Which means that there was never a window of time in which the statue wasn't sitting there. How am I? I'm alright. I respectfully disagree. We can't discount the theory until I see that statue for myself. Oof. Then you can have your wish. Look at it for yourself and see I am right. This. I know I've seen this somewhere before. Yeah, the photo of the guy. This is the all free. Red. Gives us such a feeling of art, I can practically smell it. This statue has a high amount of historical value. After it was unveiled at a museum in Europe, I brought it to this country to exhibit it. I believe a closer look is warranted here. So this is the famous Ali Fred statue, What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? You find something? There's something wrong with this picture. We should examine it in more detail. Well, firstly, the eyes are clearly red in this picture. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Click on the spot. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Yes.
Eureka!
Look at this graph! These eyes are awfully orange, don't you think? Yeah, and pretty. They remind me of sunsets when I was in grade school, sir. I don't think you see what I'm talking about. No, I do, but it's really like the color of the sun when it's setting, sir. Ah, the memories. Remember standing out in that field spinning with my arms out until I felt ill. I don't care about sunsets. Focus, detective. What color are the eyes in this photo? Huh? Ah, sir, they're red. As I thought. This statue is a fake. Mr. LeBlanc. What do you want? Do you not know how busy I am? A busy man. Yeah. Hi. Coming to say hi and leave a like before you go to bed? Bye. Bye, Kirby. Have a good one. I allow you 2 seconds for your answer. The Alley Fred. I suppose this is your pride and joy, is it not? It is the biggest trophy on this European trip. Do you know why I wanted to possess the statue? The trigger started 17 years ago. Better grab a chair, sir. Sounds like this one's gonna be a long story. Mr. LeBlanc, I regret to inform you, you have my heartfelt sympathy, but... What is that? Sympathy for what? You'll see. I'd like you to compare the eyes. That large fellow there has very bright and pretty eyes compared to you. I wasn't talking about the two of us. I meant the eyes of the statue in front of us, and the one in this photo. Why all of a sudden yelling? Now then. Oh! It is a photo of the statue under display at the museum in Europe. What? Now do you see, Mr. LeBlanc? Blurb below. The statue before us is a fake. A fake! I believe that further examination will be required. Now that we have confirmed that this is indeed a fake. There must be some sort of proof it was brought on board in Zhengfa, and I will present it to you evidence that will resolve the remaining contradiction. Let me see. Can I, like, go down? Can. Oh, there it is. It's on top of this other carpet. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Yep.
Eureka!
There's clearly a contradiction here. What are you going on about? It's just a simple cause of a cargo cover getting stuck underneath another piece of cargo. Ah! That is not possible. But it is. It shouldn't be this way, but the statue is on top of the cloth. Supposing that the neighboring piece of cargo was brought on board in Zhengfa... Are you okay, Blurb? There's no way any part of it should wind up under something from Europe. Which means that this fake statue was smuggled on board in Zhengfa. You're okay now? Are you sure? But then, what about the cargo certificate? Let me ask in return, what about Agent Hicks? Why did he come down here in the middle of the flight? There's only one reason why. To secure proof of smuggling activity aboard this flight. So you say, but I don't believe he had to do that mid-flight. We could have just as easily inspected all of the cargo after the plane landed. That may be true, however you have it backward, Francisca. Sure, Agent Hicks could have waited until after the plane had landed. But he had a reason for coming down to the cargo hold. Suppose he had found the fake at the airport. It would have been after the swap had occurred. At that time, the suspicion would naturally fall onto the statue's owner. It would have no way to prove that the statue was switched without his knowledge. which means there is someone involved who is forging or modifying cargo certificates. Huh. I guess the victim knew the real version of this was gonna get nabbed, huh? Plot has been smuggling things, yeah. Yes, well, this photo could have been seen as nothing more than a simple souvenir. It was, in fact, taken to be used as a reference document later on. No sips for you, but I'm gonna drink anyway. Next, Agent Hicks had to secure proof that the smuggling had taken place. He came down here to take a picture of the cargo hold. A rather empty one at that, right before the fake statue could be loaded on board. A photo of the hold missing a valuable piece of cargo would have been proof enough. After that, all he had to do was hold the Zhengfa cargo crew and arrest the smuggler. Exactly. This only goes to prove my theory. If the statue was not in the cargo hold during the Europe to Zhengfa leg of the trip, there would have been enough height from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death. Officer! Move the statue immediately. I want a thorough examination of the floor underneath. Now. Ms. Von Karma, I'm ready to report my findings. Go on. After moving the olive red statue out of the way, we tested the area under it with luminol, and there was a reaction. I see. There was a reaction to the luminol, an indication that there was blood in that spot. Can we stop looking at it now, sirs? Snail, please be safe, and if you have to evacuate, try to keep us updated if you can. We're all going to be worried about you. At least I am. It would seem that my deductions were correct after all. I suppose it would appear that way. The culprit cleaned the blood up well. And how do you think the killer did that? How did the killer clean up all that blood? With the Borginian cloth, right?
Take that!
The killer used the bloody cloth I found inside the suitcase to clean up the mess. I see. They had a need to clean up all the blood before this plane landed in Zhengfa. Yes, because otherwise the cargo crew would have discovered it during the layover. So you guys are saying that the murder happened before the plane landed in Zhengfa? There's no other conceivable timeline for the events of the murder. But if that's true, then that throws a certain person's testimony into doubt. If the murder occurred before we landed in Zhengfa, then Mr. LeBlanc's testimony, yeah, let me just double check the testimonies here, because I'm pretty sure it was his. Oh, Ms. Mealy's testimony. He was there in his seat when he took off again at 5 a.m. Recall Ms. Mealy's testimony about Agent Hicks in regard to when we departed Zhengfa. Time to switch the game's grape juice, Mark. Right? I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know. She claims Agent Hicks was alive at the time of the service calls, but totally contradicts the facts, sir. But why would she lie about something like that? I think the only person who can answer that is Miss Mealy herself. Maybe it was Miss Mealy. To be continued again. Lots of little pauses here. It's now 3:35 p.m. Okay. Ms. Mealy. Ms. Mealy. Huh? Do you recall what you said earlier? About when you answered some service calls as we were departing from Shengfa? Huh? You said that Mr. Hicks was still sitting in his seat at that time. However, that's simply not possible. Because Mr. Hicks was dead long before we ever touched down in Shengfa. Oh? Ms. Cammy Mealy. Maybe I didn't say what I thought I did. No one could make a mistake so large, Ms. Mealy. Yeah, if you actually own the bottle, you'll be drinking from the bottle. You're just drinking out of a mug. Oh, right. Snail, that's a line from another game. I make that kind of boo-boo all the time. This is going nowhere. There must be a better way of resolving this contradiction. Very well, Ms. Mealy. If you please, tell me about your alibi during the time span. From just before we were to land at 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. when the body was found. You think you know how this woman became a flight attendant? Hold on. There's got to be a button for this, right? Hold on. Key, config. What's the button for it? Okay. There you guys go. There you go. Have your moment. Have your moment. Seems to be a bit ditzy. Seems to be a bit, lovely. 2 big reasons. Beautiful. Gourmet detective moment, yeah. Edgeworth be pointing to treasure, right? For real, for real. You're telling me I'm a suspect, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, neat. Oh, yeah. From 3 to 4, I was, in the flight attendant's room all by my lonesome self. Yeah. And from 5 to 6, I was, in the flight attendant's room all by my lonesome self. The fuck? How is a man supposed to react to a testimony like that? Pretty privilege exists, no ifs, ands, or buts. So real. That is so real. Heard about that? I'm not really a big fan of Among Us. I've kind of said why before, but maybe I'll have to get that skin. Maybe. You think Cammy is sisters with Gourmet because we don't know Gourmet's real name? Actually, we can find Gourmet's real name. I could find that. Give me a second. Or the... Not that kind of butts. Or butts. Huh? Huh? Funny you make an Among Us joke when you can't... Yeah, right? One sec. It's Nadia Nikulina. Oh, Nikulina. Nadia Nikulina is Gourmet Detective's name. Mealy is showing quite a bit of cleavage. Indeed. Indeed. Here we go. Miss Mealy, wake up. Oh, another sip. Sippy, 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 sip. Yes, Gourmet Detective is indeed Russian. Okay. Thanks for the information. Probably different mothers are fine. Okay, you just want to make it happen. That can be your headcanon. It's okay. Gourmet detective is always rushing to eat that good food. Yeah. Ms. Mealy, wake up. Ah. Ugh. She fell asleep again. Looks like the only way I'm going to be able to wake her up is by pressing her. I'm probably gonna have to press like everything here.
Hold it!
Ms. Mealy, wake up. I'm awake. I'm awake. Miles Edgeworth, I demand you do something about this flight attendant this instant. Why are you asking me to wake her when you can finally put that whip to appropriate use? 3 to 4, I was, in the flight attendant's room by my lonesome self.
Hold it!
If I remember correctly, food was being served in the first class in the lounge between the hours of 3 and 4 a.m. Yeah, but that kind of stuff's run by Miss Rhoda. Then what were you doing in the attendance room at that time? Eating, and then having a most delicious dream. You mean you were neglecting your duties? No way. Sleeping's part of our job, too, you know.
Hold it!
Press what? Press myself up against those what? I mean, what? Sorry, Cryo Honey. Tinnies are nice. Ms. Mealy, how many times do I have to repeat myself? Wake up. I'm awake. I'm awake. Youch! What'd you whip me for, sir? Oh, what did I miss? A poor detective being on the receiving end of a lash in your stead? Really? Sorry about that. You can make amends for that by continuing with your testimony. From 5 to 6, I was, in the flight attendant's room all by my lonesome self.
Hold it!
So you were alone the entire time, were you? Yeah, no one else even popped their head in to say hi. Oh, well, I think a contradiction just popped in to say hi. What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Yeah. I should. Ms. Mealy, there's a clear contradiction embedded in your testimony. Huh? What are you talking about? It's not possible you were alone in the attendance room the whole time from 5 to 6. And I'm gonna say that's because of this lovely receipt here. Which is timestamped 5:40 a.m. I wonder if you would be so kind as to take a look at this receipt, Ms. Mealy. Huh? A receipt? For what? Oh, I've got to go settle this kid again. Sorry, guys. boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Surprisingly, it's my younger child that is up tonight. Normally it's the older one that's giving me this kind of runaround. Neko has left the building like Elvis. No, 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 no. Alex, hello. Hi. Get that sippy sippy going. Here we go. Huh? A receipt? For what? It's for the suitcase Miss Teniro brought. Now if I may direct your attention to the timestamp. As you can see, it clearly says 5:40 a.m., Ms. Teniro. Yes! Huh? Why's the killer here? Thought you'd have her locked up by now. Get ready to switch gears on Cammy? Uh-oh. Just letting Alan know you won't be able to stay because you have multiple meetings tomorrow. Well, I hope you get some good rest then, Alex, and I hope you're nice, fresh, and recharged for your meetings. I requested that she be present as a witness so that we may straighten out your complex lie. Now then, Ms. Teniro, between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m., you took a trip from first class down to the first floor in-flight shop, correct? Yes, I went to the shop to buy a suitcase. After which, I went straight to the attendance room to drop it off. And did you see Miss Mealy there at the time? No. So, Miss Mealy, where were you really between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m.? Can stay and watch. You narrate Miles Edgeworth. Okay. How's Edgy-boi doing? He's tracking down the culprit here. Yeah. Night-night, Alex. Ms. Cammy Mealy. Huh? The bathroom? I'll be the one to ask the questions here. Yeah, maybe that's it. Probably just missed her. Nature calls, you know. You take me for a fool. That's a little too convenient to be true. But it's the truth. Cross my heart. Oh, here, wing it, hat. There you go. Have some Cammy. Hi. How are you? We're enjoying ourselves some Cammy at the moment, but it looks like she might be the murderer this time, so... I don't have enough conclusive proof to counter-argue her at this stage. You don't believe me, do you? But please, won't you give me a chance and hear me out? Look, I know you suspected me because I'm one of the crew. But she's hot. Hot people don't kill? You'd think maybe then you should also suspect Ms. Rhoda too. She's the one in charge of the elevator keycard and the shop, you know. You ask me, that makes her super suspicious. Please leave Miss Teniro out of the conversation. Only you are under suspicion for now. I don't get it. Why are you covering for Ms. Rhoda all of a sudden? Oh, now I get it. Maybe you got your eye on Ms. Rhoda. Of course I'm keeping an eye on her. I can't very well let her escape, can I? Never mind. You want to know something? Ms. Rhoda actually kind of let... I have absolutely no interest in people who can't appreciate my sense of design. Now's not the time for this sort of talk. Cammy being referred to as a Danganronpa character is perfect here. Uh-oh. Look, let me see. What sounds suspicious here to me? She's actually, like, talking, so, like... I think maybe then you should also suspect Miss Rhoda. Yeah, but the key card's missing, so I want to press this. And what are you in charge of, Miss Mealy? Take care of the attendance room. That doesn't count. Oh, but I spend so much time in there. Might as well be my responsibility. If she turns out to be the culprit, then you'll take it as a consolation prize for being wrong about Gourmet? Mr. Edgeworth, Cammy's talented in languages. So she assists passengers who may not speak English, especially those who speak Borginian. She's the only one on this flight who's fluent. Oh, you mean that kind of what am I in charge of? Why didn't you say so in the first place? What else could I have meant? Yeah, so I'm pretty good at Borginian. She's fluent in Borginian. Then I suppose you're in charge of processing documents in Borginian. Yeah, take care of anything that has to do with Borginian. Very interesting. Does that mean that she's the forger? That like made the fake certification thingy? Shopio. That makes her suspicious. Oh, I'm in charge of, yeah. And some Borginian stuff. So I want to present that document. There we go.
Objection!
So, you're the only one in this flight crew that speaks Borginian. Is that correct? Oh, yeah, I guess so. Studied abroad in Borginia for a while. Oh, what a cute, like, sprite movement. If that's the case, then the signature on this document belongs to you, doesn't it? This is a falsified piece of documentation with only one purpose: to lead anyone who read it to believe that Mr. LeBlanc's statue was loaded in Europe. The only person who could have either prepared or processed this document in Borginian is you, Miss Mealy. Without your participation, the smuggling of the Alif Red could not have occurred. Don't sleep while I'm pointing my finger at you. Oh, I wouldn't dream of falling asleep on you, Mr. Edgeworth. Bubbles? Really? It's exactly as you say. Are you confessing to having participated in the smuggling? No, far from it. True, I was the one who signed off on that document. You can't use that fact alone to make your allegations of smuggling stick. No direct correlation, after all. All you have is my signature on a piece of paper. Really? All you did was sign it? I neglected to check if the cargo had been loaded onto the plane properly. So sorry about that. Seems she's finally woken up. This is gonna be one tough fight. Suppose, and this is just a supposition, even if I was involved in the smuggling, can't throw the charge of murder on me just like that.
Objection!
If you were involved in the smuggling, you would have a strong motive to kill. Agent Hicks was in the middle of an investigation regarding the smuggling ring. And just when he was about to close in, he is killed by a member of that ring. Well, did you ever stop to think that maybe Rhoda's in with the smuggling ring member? After all, unlike me, Rhoda has access to many things on this plane for work purposes. Huh. So perhaps there's some element of a setup at play in this case. Why, what are you talking about? Don't worry, I wasn't talking about you. I meant the killer. First it was myself, and now it's Miss De Niro who's under the microscope. Seems to me our killer is going to great lengths to pin this crime on anyone they can. Whip lady's here? Listen. Wing it. We've already barked it, Francisca. It's okay. You're in good company. Before you foolishly get whipped for being a foolish fool thinking foolish thoughts. Fantastic. There's no sprite animation being attacked by bubbles. You're willing to get hit by bubbles. have no proof that Rhoda's being set up, or that she isn't. Actually, I believe that she was indeed the intended target from the very beginning. I believe the plan was to push all the blame for the crime onto her. And this evidence will prove my suspicions. This proves the killer was out to frame Miss De Niro from the very beginning. That's gotta be the suitcase.
Take that!
Killer could have hidden the body anywhere, and yet they choose the suitcase. Why is that? Perhaps it was to move the body up from the lower deck to the first floor. However, why go through the trouble to do so? Only way all of these actions make sense is if the killer had wanted to frame Miss De Niro for the murder. Ms. De Niro buys a suitcase on every flight she works without fail. But should her suitcase be switched with the one containing the victim's body... Hello, Villain Pickles arc. Interesting. I'm assuming that this is Pickles. I kind of saw you earlier, but... that would put her in a very tight spot. Unfortunately for the killer, the turbulence put an end to that plan. Not against Dami, but it's not normally your first choice. Fair. Huh. Oh, here we go again. I'm so sorry, chat. I'm trying to finish at least this chapter. This kid is being absolutely ridiculous. I will be right back. I'm just gonna... You know what? I'm gonna leave you on the next Cammy pays. Hold on. There wasn't enough time to put the body back into the suitcase. Ergo, they made do with whomever was at hand, adapted their plan, and tried to frame me as I lay unconscious on the floor from the turbulence. Killer then went to hide the suitcase in the in-flight shop and brought the piggy bank back to the elevator in order to fabricate a false weapon. A lot of work for a fruitless endeavor, wouldn't you agree? Alright, I'll be right back, chat. You know what the worst part of this kid wanting to be all over me tonight is? All he wants is for me to go back and lay him back in his bed and give him a hug and a kiss. That's all he wants. It's like he's being really cute about it. But Jesus, if I haven't laid that kid down a million times tonight. We got a sippy sippy. Give me a second. I can count. Really nice of you. Or nice of who? To leave Cammy up? They just want to see Cammy like they're out. Very lovely indeed, yeah. Okay, here we go. Sounds like the killer had a tough time too, huh? I mean, why'd the killer need to frame someone that badly anyway? That's because of the special circumstances surrounding this particular case. What special circumstances dictated the need for the killer to frame someone? That would be where the murder took place. Special circumstances, simply that the murder took place on a plane mid-flight. No matter which country, customs is quite strict in this day and age. So no matter what you do, the chances that the body will be found is very high. Therefore, there was no choice but to frame either Ms. Tenero or myself. In other words, the only one who fits within the boundaries of the criminal's movements is not Miss Tenero or myself, but you, Miss Cammy Mealy. Only you and you alone could be the killer. Oh. Anne? You done already? Was about to fall asleep again. Anyway, let's be honest here. You don't have anything on me other than a whole lot of circumstantial evidence. I can see the outline of how the murder occurred, but I have no definitive evidence. And isn't there a piece of evidence that's still accounted for? Something I still can't quite fit into the big picture. That would be the cell phone.
Take that!
I don't have any actual evidence. Thought not. But that's because it went missing, and still is. Missing? What do you mean by that? In the complex puzzle that is this case, there was one piece I kept getting stuck on. And that's the victim's cell phone. Franziska, you were waiting at the airport for a phone call from Agent Hicks's cell phone. Or at least that's what you told me. That's right. But Agent Hicks's cell phone could not be found at the crime scene. You mean the killer took the phone with them? Precisely. I suspect that if we were to find that phone, it would lead us to the killer. Is Franziska gonna call the phone? Ha ha ha. Come on, get serious. If the victim fell to his death from that height, wouldn't his phone break as well? We won't know that until we try a little experiment, will we? Franziska, I'd like to ask for your assistance. You know the victim's phone number, do you not? Of course I do. Agent Hick's phone! Rang from... I can't even... Hold on. Blech. Agent Hicks's phone. It's ringing from somewhere, sir. I hear it, detective. Now, where is it coming from? Ringing's coming from somewhere in here, sir. All of a sudden I can't think of how do I do this voice. Leave no stone unturned, Detective Gumshoe. We must find it. The ringing's coming from somewhere around here. Not here, sir. Why do I have such a bad feeling about where we're gonna find the phone? Ugh. He's here again. You know what, chat? I'm just gonna let him hang out, I think. Come on, Mr. Man.
Bye.
You coming in? Is that what's going on? Oh no, yeah, you unplugged your tablet. Are you going to bed? Are you coming in? Okay, close the door. We have special guest tonight. Neko's younger child. Here you go, baby. You hang out in there, okay? Parenting stream, go! Yeah, right. Ringing's coming from in here, sir.
Ding ding ding!
Ah! The cryo dinged the ding. Is it you or are you hearing things? It's probably that phone. Well, what? No, it can't be. You need me to fix it. Here. This has got to be the victim's cell phone. Just whose locker is this, sir? It's Miss Tenero's. What? Of course it is. Sorry I made y'all listen to that for so long. Okay. So, Mr. Edgeworth, how'd it go? Where'd you find the phone? I found it in the flight attendant's room in Miss Tenero's locker. Oh, what? But... Rhoda Tenero. I don't know anything about the phone. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Ms. Von Karma, is it? Suggest you amends Ms. Rhoda Tenero right away.
Objection!
Wait, I have a theory. This is related to the incident with the key card. When the killer went to steal the key card, they conveniently stashed the cell phone in Miss Tenero's locker at the same time. Surprisingly, nobody aside from you. Ding, 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 ding. Fantastic. Posting an Ace Attorney thing, an off-topic you saw that you thought was funny. Okay, okay. You're hearing a child's voice? No, my toddler is currently hijacking the stream. Raising a kid seems to be both the best and worst a human can expect. You know, I can agree with that.
Objection!
This is related to the keycard, all right? In the same way that we have zero proof that the killer did just that. The only voice that sings the truth is evidence. That is the one bird we cannot ignore. What should I do? Franziska's right. I can't offer baseless conjectures at this point. Hello, Fluffly. Sorry, you're here in gaps besides hearing the dialogue of the game? Yeah. You're saving points for chaos? Oh no. Oh no. Alright then. Why did the culprit take the cell phone from Agent X? It must have something very incriminating on it, or in it.
Hold it!
What now, Miles Edgeworth? It's not over yet. We have yet to figure out why the killer took the phone. Is this payback for dog, Wing It? What? Inside this phone lies the final piece of incriminating evidence that will point us to our killer. We need to examine this phone in more detail. LCD is broken. Without a screen, you can't even place a call with this. Ah, it's a camera lens. Come to think of it, I wonder, how exactly was Agent Hicks planning to preserve the crime scene of a smuggling? Franziska, I need you to confirm something. This cell phone, can it take pictures? Mr. Edgeworth, I can't believe you don't know about this kind of basic stuff, sir. All of a sudden it came to me. Fantastic. Also waiting for more things to get added, to be honest. Fantastic. Or stream-specific gimmicks. I don't know how many of those we'll have, honestly. This looks like a very similar model to my own. And mine can take photos just fine. Do you think Agent Hicks could have taken some pictures with this? In particular, pictures as evidence for his smuggling case. If so, I'd say there may be some very inconvenient photos here for our killer smuggler. The phone's all busted up, sir. Even a soap prosecutor can't repair a broken phone. Ugh, I'll find a way, don't you worry about that. Oh. May I go back to... Yeah?
Try again.
You try again. May I go back to sleep now?
Objection!
The LCD screens on the inside and outside are broken, that's for sure. But that's also reason enough to believe that the killer wasn't able to erase the data. What? What do you mean by that, Franziska? It looks like our killer isn't very familiar with electronics. This phone still rang when I call it, meaning only the LCD screens are broken. It is possible the photos are still inside waiting to be assessed. All we need to do is transfer the data to my phone. Franziska, your phone, if you please. Very well. It's transferring. Alright, displaying it now. This is... Agent Hicks was most certainly trying to obtain some evidence for his smuggling case. The L3's nowhere in this pic, sir. This has no meaning as a piece of evidence in this murder case, right? She's right. Not much we can find out from this about Agent Hicks' killer, sir. Is this it? Is this the end? Is there really nothing in this photo we can use? Jesus. I'm looking. What's all this? Like, this is the only thing that, like, looks out of place to me. Huh? Oh! They are cargo shipped from Virginia to Jingfa. So the reason they aren't here now is they were dropped off in Jingfa. Mr. LeBlanc, can you tell me the contents of the boxes? Unfortunately, there's no English written on them anywhere. She looks like a pirate in some of those sprites when she's annoyed. Well, I mean, a smuggler is a pirate of sorts, isn't it? Especially one off a plane. It's a type of ship. Kind of. We can make use of that giant box of bed sheets. Pillow fort time? Oh, okay, wing it. Oh, one cluster of boxes is written in Borginian. It says... It is, cloth in English. Cloth? Could it be? Is this where the killer... What? What is for that scary face? Ms. Mealy? Yes? It appears that Agent Hicks was no ordinary investigator. He left us with a piece of evidence after all. A striking piece that will point out who his killer is. What? Ha! Oh, it's written in Borginian! she's the only one that could have read that it was the cloth. Maybe you shouldn't force your mistaken reading of a simple picture, Mr. Edgeworth. The Virginian cargo in this piece of evidence will point us straight to the killer. Oh.
Take that!
What's that supposed to prove? The killer used this piece of cloth to wipe up the blood they had spilt. But there was one thing that had bothered me this whole time. Where did it come from? And now I finally found my answer in this very photo. The cargo that was unloaded in Zhangfa had cloth written on it. In Borginian, that is. And this is where the killer grabbed a piece from to clean up the blood with. That's right. The killer was someone who could read and understand Borginian. And the only crew member that fits that description is you, Miss Canby Mealy. Ha! That's pretty flimsy. Killer probably searched through all the boxes looking for something to use. When you're frantic, you don't care if the box is in English or Borginian.
Objection!
Sorry, but I cannot agree with your assessment of the killer's indiscriminate nature. What? There was no need for the killer to tear through boxes at random at all. And if the killer supposedly could not comprehend Borginian, well then, logically, the killer would have opened this box first. Probably the bed sheets. That's cloth.
Take that!
Says bed sheets in English right on the box, sir. Precisely. And bed sheets would be perfect for cleaning up blood, wouldn't you say? What are you trying to say? That if I were the criminal, this box of bed sheets would have been what I would have spotted first. However, the killer chose to use some Borginian cloth. Do you have an explanation for that? The killer didn't want anyone to know that the real scene of the crime was this cargo hold. So they were afraid to leave signs that the box for the sheets had been opened. However, the Borginian cloth, well, that's a horse of a different color. Because the killer knew it was going to be unloaded in the Republic of Zhangfa. That's right. That's why the Borginian cloth was used. And the only Borginian reader on board who could make such a calculated decision is you, Cammy Mealy. You and you alone. Ugh. It would be very easy for us to confirm if any of the boxes were resealed. All we would have to do is contact the Zhangfa authorities in time. We may even find other evidence to incriminate our killer within those boxes. No. So what do you say, Miss Mealy? Why not confess to your crime here and now? Or would you rather wait and see what we find out from our investigation in Zhangfa? Oh! Oh! Hey, was Interpol. I couldn't stop it. I brought him here, started taking pictures. I couldn't be found out. I was scared I was in trouble. Finished making all the arrangements to take the suspect in, sir. Very good, detective. What about the smuggling route? Did she say anything about that? Taking it down to the precinct now. Hopefully we can get more out of her there. Whenever we approached the topic, she just started foaming at the mouth. It was scary, sir. She probably wasn't prepared to commit a murder all of a sudden. One thing is for sure, the ring behind this whole mess means serious business. It looks like there's a lot more to this case than meets the eye. Mr. Edgeworth! I just wanted to say how much I appreciate everything you did. Thank you very much. It was nothing. In fact, I should be the one thanking you for your cooperation. But surely, if it wasn't for you, I may not be here right now. Instead, I can continue to serve our passengers as a flight attendant. I hope that... Well, please accept this as a token of my appreciation. That's... I see. You don't have to take it if you don't want it. No, I mean I would never turn down a lady's generous offer. Oh, thank you. I'm sure it'll serve you well. And remember, we here at GoU Airlines are always ready to serve, Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you. I'll keep that in mind. Now we must bid you farewell. May all your skies be blue no matter where you go. Edgeworth, just give it to Gumshoe as a bonus. Thing's worth more than his year's salary for him, I think. Can't believe we wound up investigating the whole day, sir, but boy was it fun. Speak for yourself. My day was filled with earthquakes, elevators, and false charges. By the way, where's Franziska? Oh, she's filling out some customs paperwork for her departure. Departure? Yeah, Miss Von Karma's always really busy, sir. Been flying from country to country to chase down some leads regarding her case. Detective, can you cancel the car I had you reserve earlier? You got it, sir. You think they'd make a nice couple? Give Gumshoe thinks he might actually do his job. Franziska, and we can't have that. I thought I told you when you first landed. I have no time for idle chatter. I have no intention of wasting your time. However, it has been a while since we last met. I also have no time for such familiar reminiscences. Just who do you think I am? You are Francesca Von Karma, a very proud prosecutor deserving of much respect. Until only a little while ago, I was but a wretched mutt who was always losing to you. A dancing pariah, living her life in the name of fame and her invisible body built. True, your father, Manfred Von Karma, didn't lose a single case for 40 years as a prosecutor. However, I wouldn't say he was invincible. What are you talking about? The group I am on the trail of is a little more troublesome than most. The smuggling route we found this time is only one sliver of the big picture. Hey. Sounds like a dangerous assignment. You really don't have to worry. I can take care of myself. Yes, I suppose you can. Jeez. Heading to bed for real? Yeah, I'm gonna be heading to bed after this case too, myself. I can't. Wing It Lakes Monokuma! Fantastic. I suppose you can. Plus, there is another agent on this case with me. Oh, another agent. He's a star among Interpol agents and has the highest successful arrest rate. Who knows, you may even run into him one day. You're sad, but why are you not crying? I was simply caught up on this in this one case. I hardly see why we would cross paths. I suppose. But I doubt you would say the same. I'm not following you. You'll understand soon enough. The flight has only just begun, Miles Edgeworth. I'll be back in this country soon enough. And when I am, you can be sure I'll pay you back. In full. How are you making the Danganronpa sprites appear at random? What do you mean? They're using the Streamlabs guy. The pinned comment. Just like that, she's gone, huh, sir? Thank goodness. Can finally rest easy, knowing I won't have to watch out for her whip. Detective Gumshoe, I want to thank you for all your help and cooperation. Well, it was nothing, sir. I was just happy to help work with you again. Ho ho. Think I'm gonna celebrate by adding a little extra salt to my instant noodles tonight. Just how much did you cut his salary by, Franziska? Detective, I was wondering if you might give me a ride down to the prosecutor's office. Sure thing, sir. I'll even fly down the road in the patrol car if you want. Don't make me remind you, Detective. Safety first. Thus, I solved the first case upon my arrival home. Franziska von Karma, the smuggling route she was after. The leaders of that ring had already put their trump card into play. And the players on the other side of this war, they would begin to make themselves known through the next incident. Oh my gosh, it's an aloe ambush! Hi, Neko, bye, Neko. Yeah, we're going to Aloe Lee. Hi, we're actually going to be ending stream ourselves if you want to hang around for a new raid. Maybe, like, mute the stream so you don't get spoiled or anything, and I'll, we'll get there. Edgeworth speaking. Finally, I called who knows how many times earlier, but I couldn't get through. And you are... Have you forgotten my voice, Miles, my boy? Mr. Amano. I don't know who that is. I'm gonna have to come up with another voice. Ernest Amano, correct? Ah, so you remember me. I know it's rather sudden, but I can't ask this of anyone else. There's been an incident, Miles. My son, he's been kidnapped. Oh no, it's a kidnapping next. That should be interesting. Fantastic. Great. The end. Woohoo. You guys, like, came at just the right time to miss who the killer was of the last one. And, like, just at the right time for the raid. So, I'm gonna save this. And I will Alt F4 it if it, like, starts to automatically go into stuff. Okay, I'm not even gonna hit the OK button. So let's find a raid for us to go on. And we'll just take Aloe's raid along with us. You're here, right, Aloe? Maybe. Let's see. There's a starter hunt. There's, in case she's muted. Tell her to check the Streamlabs. I made that one just for her. She asked for it. Let's see what's going on here, and it is a little loud. I will be cutting it. That's fine. Yeah. You know what? We're in Neko chat. Let's go raid Mature Night over on here we go. I know where we're going. There's a Mature Night going on. Ooh, sounds interesting. Yeah. Add the redirect. We'll be going with raid tag 2. There we go. We'll get in that Aloe and Neko raid. Or Neko and Aloe raid, as it may be. Here's a link in case you get lost. Okay. Cool. Thanks. And until next time, bye!